Welcome back to another episode of TVGP's We Roguelike It. I'm your host, Boss, and joining me as always is Moonpeer.
Hello.
It's our fourth and final week of The Last Stand Aftermath. Talk about what game we're playing next year at the end of the episode. But we're everything has sort of come together lately about like, oh, I don't have any time and I'm doing a bunch of work and all this other stuff that we're trying to do, and the game club episode took up way more time than expected, so I didn't have as much time to play this week as I really wanted to, unfortunately, because I am really enjoying this game. But I do have to say, all of the runs that I did do this week ended up terribly.
Yeah,
I
honestly, I'm in the exact same boat.
and I know exactly what happened. Is that thing that happens to me every time I feel like I have my hands around a roguelike, I get cocky. Where I'm like, I've been to area
Yep.
2. No, but area 1, pff, whatever. And then, like, literally 2 minutes later, a dude blows up on me. I walk into a mine. I try to fight
Mhm.
15 zombies at the time, and I'm like, oh, I lost. It's like, yeah, of course you did. Just like, you gotta treat these zombies with respect, man. They're not
Yep.
here to mess around. So that was
Yep.
almost all of my runs. I had one run that got almost to the wall, but most of them this week were like, I got this, haha, spray, spray, spray. Whoops, I'm dead.
hmm Yep. 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 Yep.
Yeah.
I had several runs that were absolutely terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Absolutely terrible. Really bad. Um, and then I'm on a run right now where I have made several mistakes.
Okay.
Lots of several mistakes, in
Perfect.
fact. I am officially getting to the point now where I am using. I'm always trying to have a thing in reserve.
Oh, the
Uh,
injectable
yeah, antiviral. There we go.
antiviral. Thank you. Oh God.
I'm always trying to have one in those in reserve, just for when one of the big explodey boys shows up,
Yes.
and then I can just go and
Yeah.
then walk away smoothly from the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. How much of the like upgrade tree have you explored so far?
I not as much as I have wanted to, because I feel like investing into the beginning of that tree feels okay, but man, once you start digging into that tree a little bit, it seems like the prices really skyrocket in a way that I don't think feels unfair, but for us doing this show, I feel like that's the thing you work on over weeks and weeks and months, rather than we're not going to scratch the surface of that over the month that we're playing this
hmm
game, which is kind of a bummer, because I think I think a lot of the stuff in that tree seems really cool.
So I will say one of the things that is kind of a game changer for me is the Survivor radio one. There's two radio upgrades that really are useful.
Okay,
One is you don't have to use a battery to use the upgrade radio anymore.
that's huge.
It's a game changer, dude.
Wow.
Let me tell you.
Okay.
Um, and then the other one is other survivors will have radios on them, and when they
Oh.
die, they leave little caches, and your radio is tuned to a frequency that gives like a motion detector sound whenever you get near them, and
Mm.
they are full of goodies.
Both of those
Really
sound great,
good goodies.
man.
Uh-huh.
I, you
Like
know, I
cannot recommend those two enough.
Yeah, I really like that this game on the surface seems like it's going to be really um pretty brutal, and going to be one of those games where it's like, no, you just got to get better, like you just got to get used to the game. But I really respect that a lot of this game um feels like you're one step away from being super overpowered, and I think that's really fun. And to be fair, we don't know what's going to come in like zones 3 or 4 or however far this game. So it might have to be like, yeah,
Yeah.
you need all of this stuff just to get through. It's a roguelike, so the last zone is probably just hell, like in every roguelike. But like I like that there's something in this game that's just like, yeah, for investing into this, you get a big, clear benefit. We don't
I
always see those.
cannot recommend that radio one enough because frequently there is like really early on when you start, you usually start with a broken down weapon.
Yeah,
But really early on, you can get like fully repaired weapons, a bunch of attachments, some ammo,
man.
like health supplies. Like it's all survivor gear, so it's all really useful to do, and it's
Right. Really
cool when you find
impactful
it because you're
stuff.
just like, oh,
Yeah.
thank you for replacing my broken hunting rifle with this. Especially if you get a merchant on the route,
Mm.
because then you've got a bunch of weapons that you can sell to the merchant for knowledge, and then you can trade that knowledge for
True.
upgrades.
Right, right, right. I do like when you leave a run and you have like 20 knowledge and like 400 of whatever the yellow currency is right above that, whatever that unlock currency
It's
is.
supply points.
Yeah, I love when you leave a run where you're like, we were talking about this with Balatro recently of like, okay, I didn't finish a run. This run, I got beaten over the head with a RNG, or I did something really greedy and something was horrible, but at least I learned something or I earned a currency or something. That's why I think we overall kind of really prefer roguelikes with meta progression in them, because you still have the I gained knowledge, which is an important part about losing in roguelikes that we kind of always talk about, but I also gained something to give me at least a little bit of a leg up on my next run.
Uh-huh.
So that's really great. And I honestly like going back to the camp in this game and being like, yep, all right, I've got a whole bunch of stuff. Let's unlock as much. I'm gonna hit the skill tree. I'm gonna turn in all my knowledge. I'm gonna turn in all my supply points. I'm just gonna rock this thing. That feels really great.
Yeah, I love the fact that you can get the permanent upgrades to the armory too, where you just start with a bunch of stuff that's really important.
Yes.
Like you can start with like the tape, and you can start with a pipe, which if you have a pipe and then maybe ball ammunition, you can turn that into a spiked mace. I'm just saying,
Right. Maybe.
it's really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I really liked. Well, the scientists will take over, talking about the overall thoughts. But again, I will encourage people to check this out. I don't. We're playing on PC, so we don't know much about the console version. So do your research. But I came away from this pretty impressed and pleasantly surprised, which I think is kind of the roguelikes we really like, where it's like, all right, this seems like a roguelike. Let's try it
Yes.
out. Whoops, it's really cool. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so highly recommend playing this and seeing how far you can get and seeing if you like it. So last day and a half for Bath.
Yep.
Pretty cool. Next game we're going to be playing, though, is Halls of Torment. I've been watching this in early access for a while. It's out on 1.0 now. If you listen to Picking Up the Pixels RPG Love, Musum's been talking about this for a couple of months now. It's a game he's really enjoyed. I've been waiting for this to come out. It's out on iOS, Android, and PC. It looks to be $6.66. Wink. On at least PC. If you haven't seen it before, it's kind of like the Diablo 1 and 2 styled Bullet Heaven game. So it's been a while since we played a good Bullet Heaven game. So we'll see if this one kind of fits our fancy, and hopefully maybe has a little bit shorter run times, because that's something that I could do with right now. So we're going to check out Halls of Torment for our next month. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you all next run. Bye.
Oi.